I'm going to talk about teaching speaking, and there's something in brackets like teaching, not just practicing speaking. So why is it important? So first of all, I'd like to introduce myself to those who have just joined. So my name is Tibor. I'm a teacher and program manager at Oxford House College. And let me start this presentation with two questions. So the first question is, why is speaking difficult? So for example, when you teach, when I teach, I always ask students, for example, when I fill in a questionnaire, that what would you like to do? Why are you here? Why, what would you like to improve? And they always say, I want to improve my speaking skills. I want to speak English fluently. I want to speak better. I want to be able to have a chat with other people, British people in the street. I want to be more confident when I speak. And yeah, this is quite understandable. And there's the second question. So how can we teachers support these students? What can we do to support these students? So to answer the first question, so why is speaking difficult for students, is because it takes place in real time. So it's like thinking of ideas and speaking happen exactly at the same time. So it's not like writing, the other productive skill, where they have plenty of time to think about what to write and how to write. So here they have to be quick. And this is quite difficult because students lack language. And that's why they are our students. That's why they are in the language school, because they want to improve. And what can teachers do to support students? So if you have a look at this A and Z, A represents a task sheet that we can give to students. Okay, it can be a picture, it can be a situation card, or it can be questions that they need to answer. So, and try to imagine that you give this task sheet to the students. Okay, talk about it. Will they be able to talk about it? Maybe yes, a little bit. But for how long? Maybe for 1 or 2 minutes, because they don't really have ideas, maybe, or they don't know what to say, or they don't know how to say it, or they just don't have enough ideas. So after 2-3 minutes, they would just look at you and say, okay, we have finished. But instead of that, we can help them. We can guide them a little bit, how to get from A to B, from B to C, and finally to Z, which is basically the free practice. So what can we do? How can we support our students? So first of all, what we need to do, or we can do, is basically, it is a good idea to engage students. So engaging the learners is the very first step. So we can give them different exercises or ideas to talk about. And it is important to engage our students with something interesting, because we really need to, we want to grab their attention. So here are 3 examples that I normally use when I want to engage learners. So for example, we can watch a video, a relevant video, which is about the topic that they later are going to talk about. Or we can give the students some pictures that they can have a chat about, and after that, they can guess the topic. So they can discover. And I think this is the best, this is what they like the most. So we can introduce the topic by playing a game, a puzzle or anagrams or anything like that. So there are different ideas. So these are only 3 of my ideas that I usually use in the classroom when I want to grab the students' attention. So now I would like to ask you to use the chat and come up with some ideas. How do you engage your learners? What do you like doing at this stage? So let's see. Some keywords, yeah, very good. Set of conversation questions. Good ideas. Ah, cartoons, interesting. I might want to try it. Okay, guys, this is a good opportunity to take some ideas and use them in your class. So it's like a peer observation. Ask questions about the week, family, first pictures, videos, yeah. So other people like it, this idea. Ice-breaking activities. Personal experience, yeah, they like it. They like sharing their personal experiences because it is easy for them to talk about it. And they really want to share. Hold a conversation on topic interested. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Very good ideas. I love them. Okay. Thank you so much. So you can take notes if you would like to. Now you can take some ideas from your colleagues. Okay. But after engaging the learners, it is a good idea to, oops, it's not working. Oh, something happened. Aha, yes. It is a good idea to focus on relevant functional language. So what do we do here? So we can help students by practicing phrases, expressions that support them when communicating freely in the last stage. Okay, so first, we need to clarify the meaning. So what is the function of these phrases, these expressions in the context, and why are they important? Why are we practicing these ideas, these phrases, expressions, sentences, questions, whatever you like? After this, we need to focus on the form. And I think this is my personal idea and opinion that it is a good idea to let students discover the language. This way it will be easier for them to remember, for example, these phrases, these expressions, and it will be easier for them to use them correctly. So accuracy is important, will be important in the future when they use the language freely. And finally, the pronunciation. So my idea is that when teaching functional language, we can focus on sentence stress, for example, or intonation, because this is what they will use in the street. This is how they will communicate in the street. So they don't want to sound boring, okay? So they want to play with their voice, okay? So, and then after this stage, after clarifying the meaning, the form, some pronunciation practice, we can practice the language, okay? So this is a stage where students can try the language out in the classroom with some support to gain confidence. And this is very important. So as we all know, and I think most of us do it in the classrooms, so we give the students some controlled practice, okay? This is where they get more support from us, okay? And we can guide them a little bit, how to do it, what to do and let them speak about the topic, use the language, like and get some confidence, to boost their confidence. And after that, the free practice that they can do, and where they can share their own ideas, they can talk about their own opinions, so they can talk about their life experience, if you like. So this stage is the first stage where they can try the language out in the classroom, and we can give them help. So, for example, this is the final question. So I give you the final task. So, for example, this is an idea just from me. So your friend is visiting London next weekend for the first time. So what shall we do together? Okay, so here students can work together. We can ask them questions, and what do you usually do at the weekends? Or where do you like going out? What do you do together with your friends? Like anything. Okay, so this is when we engage students. This is the first stage. As you can see, what do you usually do? So we use, and one of you typed it in, like we need to use, we can use, not need to, we can use like personalized questions, ideas. And so what do you do at the weekend? So they can, oh, I do this, I do that. I like going out. I like going out with my classmates, with my friends. So where do you like going out? If they are here in London, I don't know if they're here for a month, then they, oh yeah, we can go to the park, we can go to Hyde Park, we can visit different museums, we can go out to, I don't know, restaurants, pubs, wherever. So, and they are easy. It's very easy for them to talk about it. So, and after that, it is going to be much easier to take the students, to lead them to the final stage. So if I take this idea, so this question, so your friend is visiting London next weekend for the first time, what shall we do together? So instead of just giving them, okay, this task, this is your task sheet, okay, talk about it. What shall we do? So this would be Z, this would be the freer class. They wouldn't really have any ideas, or maybe they would, but let's help them. Let's help them. Let's help these students. So for example, my idea that we can use different sentences, different phrases, different ideas, and categorize them. So asking for recommendations, or giving recommendations, responding to recommendations. So there are, as you can see, there are a couple of ideas here. Students here can work in groups, in pairs, and don't forget that they, while they are doing it, they have a chat, they speak. We don't even need to do anything. So we just have to monitor. They do what they need to do. So in order to let students discover the language, they can do this kind of exercise. And after a couple of minutes, surprise, surprise, we have the 3 categories with the correct answers. And they will know the meaning. They will get the meaning. We don't even need to give them anything. We don't even need to tell them that, guys, this is what you have to do. This is what you have to use in your lesson, or when you talk about the topic, use this. No. Try to work a little bit, try to find out, try to discover, and they work together. So some students know more, some students need more help, and they can help each other. And it is amazing. Okay, so after that, we can focus on the form. So here, again, I don't really need to do anything. I just have to give them the task sheet. And you see 2 categories again. We should, let's, why don't we could. And the other one is, how about? And you give them some ideas. Like, as you can see, the verbs are in bold. So while they are working together, while they are working on the task, they can see, oh, look at the verbs. Some of them are in infinitive form, some of them are in ing form. So what is the difference? How can we put them into these two different categories? And again, they will chat and they will say, okay, how about, okay, this is a preposition. After prepositions, okay, ing, fine. After a couple of minutes, there you go. You have the correct answers. And again, you as a teacher, you just need to monitor. They will enjoy this task. This is a game. This is a game for them, and they love it. So after the form, what was the next one? Pronunciation. Pronunciation, and I said that sentence stress and intonation is a good idea to practice here, because functional language, they will use functional language in the street. When they chat, when they communicate, they go, they meet friends, they go to a shop, they, I don't know, they go to a cafe, they go to a restaurant, they meet new people, they fall in love, whatever. Okay, they want to communicate. And at this stage, as a teacher, we can take some ideas and we can show them, okay, these are the words that where you need to play with your voice a little bit. Okay, like, what shall we do? And we need to exaggerate a little bit, because if we just say, what shall we do? Students might not get that, okay, this is how I need to use intonation. Like, we need to exaggerate a little bit. Like, what shall we do? And students like drilling, like students say, oh, what shall we do? What shall we do? Good. Let's have a barbecue. And again, students, let's have a barbecue. Let's have a barbecue. Fine. That's a great idea. So again, we don't normally speak like this in the street, but in the classroom, we need to. That's a great idea. And students, that's a great idea. Yeah. How about going fishing? Like, how about going fishing? How about going fishing? Like, students, like, try it, like, try to pronounce it. Right. And after this stage, like meaning, form, and pronunciation, we give students a controlled practice. Like, we can do it. We give it to them, like language. They can try the language out. But here at this stage, we give them some more support. So here are two questions. What shall we do on Saturday? And where shall we go tomorrow afternoon? Two questions. They can work in pairs, and we give them ideas. Like, talk about this. Answer. The answer is there. So this is the stage, and that's why it is a good idea to use a controlled practice, because they speak, they have a conversation, but you give them some support. Like, say you go for a walk or cinema or park or have a party. So they don't really need to think about ideas. They don't really have to spend time thinking of ideas, what to say, because it's there. They just need to focus on using the language that they have already practiced before. Okay, and they put the two together, and there you go. They will become a little bit more confident. So that's how we can boost their confidence. And this is an amazing idea. And after the controlled practice, then they can finally try the language out, like with a free practice. Free practice where they can use their own ideas, they can share their opinions, they can share life experiences, and that's what they love. And here you are, your friend is visiting London next weekend for the first time. What shall we do together? And they can work in pairs. Maybe it is a better idea to put them into groups so that they can have more, that there is more talk. Okay, so they can share more ideas. And because we really want to help them, so we can give them some ideas how to talk about it. Okay, so instead of just talking about a Saturday or Sunday and one activity, okay, let's go to Hyde Park in the morning, and then let's go to I don't know, to London Eye, let's visit a museum. Like, you can tell them, you can give them some help. Okay, Saturday, Sunday, morning, afternoon, evening, loads of speaking. So at least 8-10 minutes, they can have a chat. And they can use the language, they can try out the language in the classroom, and we give them help. And we can boost their confidence like easily. And they will be happy to talk about this topic or any similar topics in the future, in the street, with classmates, with friends, with anyone. Okay. So it's nearly half past, so I'd like to summarize my my presentation. So here, there's a question: how to promote more quality learning than simply quantity, like giving them plenty of exercises, task sheets, questions, pictures, situation cards, but without enough focus. So we are in a very lucky situation because we have adult learners, and adult learners bring so much to the classroom. They have years of general experience of life. And on the other side, it is us teachers. What can we add? How can we help? How can we support our students? So we can focus on relevant language that has a function, and this is important. Relevant language that has a function that they can use in the street, in real life communication. We can give them, or we have to make sure that we give them plenty of exercise. Then after that, we can make sure that it is language that they can try out in the classroom. And after that, students can have a free practice in the classroom, that they can try out the language, and this way they can gain confidence. So this is quality learning. This is how we can support our students. This is how we can help them to teach, how we can help them and teach functional language. So quality learning instead of just simply quantity. Okay, so thank you so much for coming and for your attention. So this is the end of my presentation. If you have any questions, then you can ask and we can discuss.
Thanks, Tibor. Does anyone have any questions about anything that was raised in the session? I think it's...
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'm just reading the chat. Thank you so much.
Oh, there you go. There's a good one. Do you have any tips on correction?
Error correction. Yeah. So basically, error correction, how I do error correction in the classroom is normally when I teach functional language, like in the first stage, I do error correction on the spot. But when they do the controlled practice or the freer practice, then it is delayed error correction. So I have my notebook, I take notes, and at the end of the class, I just put these sentences on the board, or I just write them on a paper, make photocopies, or maybe and after the break, maybe if there is a break, I have some time to make photocopies, give it back to the students. Okay, correct your mistakes, correct these and any mistakes. So if it is a grammatical vocabulary error, then yes, it is on the paper. If it is related to pronunciation, then I just put a P next to that, and I just put it on the board, and okay guys, how do you pronounce it? How would you pronounce it? What is the correct pronunciation? Okay, and that's okay. Now let's practice it together. This is the correct way. This is the correct pronunciation. And they are very happy to do like this delayed error correction, because if you put it on the paper, then they can, oh, this was my mistake. Oh, this was mine. This was mine. Okay, how can I improve it? And they are more than happy to correct their own mistakes.
Great, thanks, Tibor. I would add to that as well that you want to praise the good stuff as well, like any good language that they produce. It's not just about correction, but those are great ideas not to interrupt and get too obsessed with accuracy during the fluency task. So yeah, lovely. Right, there's a couple of other questions about teaching meaningful pronunciation, teaching speaking to beginners. I wish we had more time. However, the next talk by Neil McCutcheon and Neil Anderson, will be looking at task-based learning. So that's an approach to teaching that we can use across all different levels. So hopefully there'll be some great ideas there across the board. So thanks, Tibor. I really enjoyed your session.
Thank you so
and
much.
Lots to think about.